power is not committed to everybody. It can be available to everybody in Christ, but only those who are consecrated can draw from it. That's why all of us are Christians, yet not all of us cast out devils. Not all of us are taking nations. Not all of us are invading territories and bringing the government of God. It's available to all of us because of the love of God, because of the resurrection. But how much you draw is a function of your consecration. If a man purges himself, that's when he can draw from the everlasting fountains of God. Listen, if you don't do this, you will not be relevant in eternity. You must do it. But for you to do it and succeed, consecration must become the price that you pay. There's a purity-based consecration. Did you not read about Paul? There's a restraint or self-control-based consecration. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 9:27, I beat my body. I bring it under subjection. Somebody says he wants to take a nation and he cannot sit down to study. If he feels like sleeping, he sleeps. He operates at the frequency of feeling. When you ask him, he said, I felt like, who told you? Those who take nations operate how they feel. They say, oh, go for a training. No, guy, my back was aching and I need to wake up tomorrow. I have not slept enough. You will sleep well. There's a place where all of us will sleep indeed. The Bible said there's a place called the grave. There you will sleep. Nobody will trouble you to go for devotion. Nobody will trouble you to fast. Nobody will trouble you to go for workers training. You will sleep there until your whole flesh will slip away. Even the bones will decay. Our time is rest in peace. That's what they call it. Our time here is limited. You beat your body. It's self-restraint. And bring yourself under subjection. There are times you need to sleep, but kingdom won't let you. There are times you need to go for a vacation, and there's nothing wrong. Go as much as you have the time. But there are times where you can't live like every other person. It's the consecration of the believer. From purity to self-control to sacrifice. And then to devotion to God. Wow! You don't pray, you don't fast, you don't study. You want to move the hand of God. It's not that cheap, sir. It's not that cheap. For you to even discern the movements of the Spirit, it may take hours of priesthood to begin to know the difference between the air and the wind called Ruach HaKodesh. It will take time to know the difference. That what is blowing is not what a fan is producing. It's what is coming from Zion. It will take time to know that the sounds you are hearing is not the keyboard. It's the voice of many waters. It will take time to be able to know when to climb from the sound of the keyboard to the songs of song, the sounds of the Spirit, where angels are whispering echoes from eternity. And those echoes become the ladders through which you are sent to heights. And it's from those heights that you can stand and speak and say, let London be free. That will not be the voice of a man. It will be the shout of the King. And when you talk from that height, even the gates of cities will open. Did you not read? He said, who shall ascend the mountains of God? Who shall stand upon his holy hills? He said, it is they that are of a pure hand. They've not lifted up their soul in vanity. These are the ones. It's from Zion we stand and we shout, Shabak, and doors of nations can open. There's an alignment. There's a procession. Jericho does not fall because you came with trumpet. Jericho will fall because you align with the armies of heaven. There's a gate called Mahanaim, where you dance the dance of the Spirit. At that point, even your laughter becomes a weapon. There's a place of synchronization. There's a place of alignment, where the warriors of earth become one with the warriors of heaven. And whatever you are doing, no matter how powerless it is, an army can go down. The Lord is good, and his mercies endureth forever. And Moab, Ammon, and Mount Seir can attack themselves. 18 million men can die just because you are making a sound. That's not just a sound. They are rhythms of war. They are chants of alignment. They are realms in Zion. But how can you know that language if there's no consecration to take you there? They were looking for Daniel. They thought he was part of those who are going on holidays. No. The guy said, you can give people positions. He said, I will sit at the gate. And while he was there at the gate, a hand appeared and wrote something. Nobody knew the language. If you don't know the language, how do you interpret it? They now discovered this man probably is traveling through realms that we don't know. And when they brought Daniel, there was no need to go consult anyone. He said, God has exalted you. He has given you a kingdom that expands the whole earth. And you decided to worship the God of iron and of stone. He said, it's for that reason that this hand came. He could tell you why the judgment came. So this guy is not guessing. And he went further to step 2 by reading it. Mene, take care, oversee. And he went to step 3 by interpreting it. He said, Mene means higher. You think they take Babylon by talking? No. You take Babylon by sitting at the gate. There is a power that consecration brings into your vessel. This is why when you start consecrating, your flesh will rebel. But like Paul, you will beat it and bring it under subjection. You will beat it because your generation wants to hear something that is stronger than Queen's English. They want to hear the echoes of eternity. Your voice must travel yonder until when you speak, it becomes like the sounds of many waters. That's the generation God is looking for. Men that can walk on earth, but their heads will be in the spirit, because they are part of the assembly of Zion. When they talk, they read scrolls from eternity, judgments and legislations that were passed. Some of the territories that are in darkness today, the judgment was given 50 years ago, but no man can go there to collect the scroll. And so territories are in bondage because people who can ascend to Zion have not received scrolls to read them. It will take consecration for you to go to the high places of the spirit. And this is the heritage of every believer, because every one of us should be as strong as David, and the weakest of us should be as a strong nation. But the only way you will get that level of strength is by the power and the weight of your consecration. Even when the king gave a law that no one should pray, Daniel could not stop. The Bible says 3 times in a day, Daniel prayed facing Jerusalem. I am not powerful in Babylon because I'm the friend of the king. I am powerful in Babylon because heaven, I climb to heaven. And even when the king has no choice and gives a law that I should be thrown to the lion's den, then I will show the king that what powers me is superior to his favor. Because the next day when the king came, Daniel was still alive. He said, has your God kept you? He knew that the man had a God. What is your consecration? You want to wield powers that are eternal? You must have a hiding place in God. It's called the believer's consecration.
Thank you for watching this video. We trust you have been tremendously blessed.